Local news is next. 3 local reports, 1 of them is true, 2 of them we've made up. Can you guess which? Here's report A.
There's a new copper out on the beat in Sunhill. Former Met Police Commander Brian Paddock is taking on a starring role in The Bill. Brian will be playing a police commander, checking up on new Inspector Rachel Weston. And Brian says acting on The Bill won't be that different to his life in the old Bill.
The Bill go to tremendous trouble to make sure everything is authentic. They get things from the police, they find out where the suppliers are, so that everything looks exactly like it does at work.
Since leaving the police, Brian's never been far from the spotlight. He stood for London Mayor and appeared, of course, on reality TV shows. But playing Commander Ken Matthews might be Brian's toughest role yet.
The toughest part is trying to remember that I'm not actually a commander back at work, that I have lines to follow, and trying not to get carried away.
Commander Matthews, a.k.a. Paddock, will be maintaining law and order in Sunhill for 3 episodes, due to be screened at the end of March. Geraint Vincent, ITV News.
So, what do you think, Miranda?
Well, he's post-celebrity jungle show, isn't he? So he's really wants work.
He is an attention-grabbing media whore, Brian Paddock.
What I don't get is why is this local news?
Maybe because Brian Paddock is only significant to Londoners.
Everything's local to something.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm
sorry, you've gone too far.
Anyway, let's have a look at clip B.
Most of us have kissed a loved one goodbye at a railway station at some point, but in Warrington, it's now banned. People saying farewell in the drop-off zone are taking too long and delaying taxis bringing other commuters. So now kissing is restricted. But these taxi drivers have no time for romantic couples.
Nuisance they are. We have to beep them and point at that and say, go on your way, up to £30 fine.
Virgin Trains has spent £1 million refurbishing the station, complete with no kissing signs. If people are desperate to kiss, then they must go to the kissing zone, yards away from the traffic. Hospital, North West Tonight.
I think you wouldn't dare put such a rubbish image of 2 people kissing with a cross through it.
You wouldn't
dare, so that might be true.
And is Warrington Bank Quay some kind of hub for, like, men going away into the forces? Why particularly do people have to go and kiss there, in the drop-off zone?
Well, let's have a look at report C.
Silver surfer Sylvia Anderson's been posting money-saving tips on her website for the last 2 years. But now, TV finance expert Martin Lewis has launched a legal action against Sylvia. He claims Sylvia's been stealing advice from his website.
I've lived through bad times, and I think, why not? I could open a website and not only help my grandchildren, but children quite farm-wide.
Sylvia fears her money-saving tips will end up costing her dearly.
Well, it's unbearable. I can't afford to go to court. Can I get legal aid? I don't know, you know. I mean, I really don't know.
Martin Lewis has so far refused to comment on the case. Until the dispute is resolved, Sylvia won't be posting any new money-saving tips on her website. Beth Rose, BBC News.
So, Frank, you've seen all 3 now. What did you think of that last one?
Well, it was quite feasible, but why did we never hear that money man speak? We only ever saw him doing that to people, and I'm thinking that he was such a bad actor that they wouldn't let him.
Now, that money man exists.
Oh, he's a real money man.
Yeah, that is Martin Lewis.
I need to start watching the telly. So, well, I think it's too believable, the last one.
So, are you ready to vote?
Yeah.
Is it A, Brian Paddock is going to star in The Bill, B, Warrington Station is banning kissing, or C, Martin Lewis suing a defenceless old lady? So, which is the real story? Please vote A, B or C now. Katie, very confidently, has gone for Brian Paddock starring in The Bill.
Pretty sure about this.
Frank thinks it's Warrington Station has banned kissing.
So do I now.
While Miranda, at the time of... and your assertiveness is collapsing.
I think it is that.
Thought at the time of voting
yeah.
it was Martin Lewis suing the old lady. Well, I can tell you your second instinct is right, Miranda, because Frank is correct. Warrington Station has banned kissing.
I knew it was. I knew it was. Oh, my God.
They've banned...
Why do you think that?
Because I don't think, even for a pilot, they would make signs that bad of people.
Yes, you're quite right. I don't think anyone involved in this production would have made anything that shit. What is interesting is that the It's Banned symbol is underneath the painting. So what they've had made up is a load of banning things signs, and then they subsequently decide what to ban.
Why were you so sure about Brian Paddock?
Because I really can't stand him, and I think it's exactly the kind of thing he'd do.
So essentially, Brian Paddock's available for anything.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, for example, to do a spoof insert for a pilot.
Can I have a point for that?
Warrington Station has indeed banned kissing. You're only allowed to kiss in an area by the short stay car park, designated as a kissing zone, whereas, of course, the long stay car park remains a dogging zone.
I'd like to see the sign for that.
Yeah. Right. Our final round is on the buzzer. I'm going to read out some news stories from the last week that may or may not be real. If you're first to buzz, please answer real or fake. And if you're right, you win a point. If you're wrong, you lose a point. I can tell you it's very close. Frank is in the lead at the moment.
Come on, Katie.
A drug has been developed by scientists which erases bad memories.
Real.
It is real. Well done.
Oh, we're doing well, team.
That's what Ronnie Wood's 19-year-old girlfriend calls the morning after pill.
Next, Peaches Geldof has been appointed as a judge for this year's Orange Prize for Fiction.
Real.
Katie, fake.
Oh, thank God.
Dad, glad that you know.
But, Daddy, I want it!
I do what I can, all right? I can't promise on it that I'm going to see Nelson Mandela.
And so if you were in the bubble, how come you've heard about Bob Geldof's stroke? Next, as of this week, if you take a photograph of a policeman or a soldier, you can go to prison for 10 years.
False.
That's real. Next, Joseph Fritzl, the musical, the story of the Austrian man who kept his daughter in a cellar, is to open in a Vienna theatre next week. Katie.
Real.
That's real, yes. Next, Tony Blair has won an International Peace Prize of $1 million.
Fake.
Real.
Did you say flake?
Yeah.
I just want a flake.
I will take flake as real.
Whisper.
Was it real?
Please stop buzzing for chocolate.
Snickers.
Next.
Vodka martini.
They are not order buttons. Next, wacky milliner Ali Capolino is cutting costs in her London fashion show next week by using donkeys instead of models. Miranda.
Real.
Fake. It's a shame, though, isn't it? Donkey with a hat. And lastly, Tony Hart left half of the money in his will to Jason Orange. Right.
That's gotta be fake.
It is fake. Oh. Anyway, that's the end of the round. So, the winner with 6 points is Frank. Thank you to my guests, Katie Brand, Frank Skinner and Miranda Hart. Join me next week when coming out of the bubble will be Barbara Streisand, Eamon Holmes and one of the Ting Tings. Although I may have made 2 of those up. Good night.